where 94% of our viewer base are male and the other 6% is female. And I just have to say, hey, what's up? What you doing after this?
Oh my god, dude, I'm right here.
No, I'm awkward. Okay, so this week on the Good HAE podcast, we have a very special guest, straight from the depths of /MLP, but also film fiction, because why not? Is 6 million wasn't enough, or actually Mandroid?
So,
Where you say hi.
you don't tell me what to do.
Fuck you.
Okay? I'm like mostly sure I'm older than you, and whatever. Fuck you.
I'm older than you.
Also joining us on this podcast is a non-pencil.
The coughing does not mean I'm dying, I swear.
Yeah.
Enigmatic Otaku.
Hi.
Milk.
Hello.
Ravage.
I sleep with knives.
And the silent guardian of our chat, Vylon, who is joining because reasons. This week we have a whole shit ton of questions, a metric shit ton of questions out in the Good HAE list forum, where we are going to read them to our wonderful guest, who for some reason agreed to come online. And we're also going to be looking in the Twitch stream for various questions that we can ask straight from your guys' hand mouths.
Hand mouths, yes. That's very specific. Thank you, Praise. As usual, we get ready to drink because we have a drinking word. Today's drinking word is dude. It's one we've never had before. So you know how it works. When you hear one of us say that word, you drink. That's how it goes. It's really very simple. If you guys can't understand that, there's probably something severely wrong with you.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Drink. There's one other thing I wanted to address before we started today, and that's that it's a very special day for this podcast. Because it's Milk's birthday.
Yay!
Everybody say happy birthday, Milk.
Let's not.
It is.
Okay.
Also, no, because he said I could sing him a short birthday song. He said I could.
I did.
So I'm going to.
Okay.
You ready, Milk? You ready for your birthday song?
Maybe.
Are you sure? Are you ready?
No, I'm not really ready, but we're gonna do it anyway, aren't we?
Ready, motherfucker. We're doing this.
Shit.
Right. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long.
That was it.
No, that's it. I'm done.
Is it really?
You feel better.
Kind of
I do.
More there.
I do.
Oh no, I promised it was short.
I
swear.
Now then, let's get this show on the road. We've shitposted long enough. We're going straight to questions from Not an Important Pony, my favorite self-depreciating username that we have questions from, Mandroid. Who is best pony?
Praise the sun.
Oh,
right.
Bendy will like you.
Who is worst pony?
Tough question.
Tough question.
Who are some bad ponies? Just like shit tier ponies.
Sunset Shimmer. I don't like the new one. The
Glam
purple
Glam. Yeah.
Yeah. She's kind of she's shrill.
Chrysalis,
She's barely a horse. She's like a bug ditto thing.
Which is great. So.
There we go. Pinkie Pie. She's the worst. She's
wow. All right. Well.
I like Pinkie Pie, damn it.
Well, you have shit taste in it.
I'm sorry.
See, he's nice. At least he apologized.
I'm sorry you were born. I'm sorry you were born like that. It's like being born. It's like being born ugly. I'm like.
Why do I even come to these podcasts anymore?
Because you need to shill your Patreon. It's the only way you eat.
You don't have friends.
And you asked for it. You asked for the abuse. You can look back on any of the podcasts and read, here's Pencil, can you please roast me?
Sure.
I didn't ask for this.
I'm reading
shall
the chat. I'm reading the chat. If it goes off of like the main 6 horses, it goes from best to worst. It's Applejack, then Twilight, then Rarity, then the two flying ones, and then Dirt, like a turd, and then Pinkie Pie's like way at the bottom.
Where does Spike fit into this mix?
He's not involved in. He doesn't get put on promotional materials, so he obviously doesn't count.
Okay, he doesn't count. That works for me. Thank you.
Speaking of that, why will Spike, for now and forever, be the worst thing?
Because I can't remember if I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure like I think it's the voice. He's played by like a 40-something-year-old woman who's like spastic and weird in like a bad way. And I think that just sort of oozes through in everything that he does, and it just sort of permeates everything about it.
Kind of
You
like
can't-
that.
You can't like hear him talk or do things or hear the performance when he does things and not just imagine some like 47-year-old lady who's trying to like be cool with the kids. But
Hello,
I say
fellow
that
children.
I say that yeah. Hello, fellow children. How are you today? But I say that, but I did make at least one story where Spike was the deuteragonist because I'd never done that.
Was
And
it
we
a
all
fun thing, or did you just hate every second of it?
the story was short. It was one of my I actually consider it one of my better works because I set out to do something in a short amount of time and I did it. And Spike made the most sense to be the deuteragonist for that story. So he did it and it all worked out in the end, I think. He wasn't like stealing the spotlight and I wasn't like making him out to be this awesome thing. He was actually pretty ineffectual most of the time, except for one or two instances. But it worked for me. I didn't hate doing it. There's not too many stories that I did that I hated doing.
Oh. All right. Now we get some fun questions. Of anyone in this podcast right now, who would you not bang?
Otaku. I don't deal with weebs.
Oh,
Rex.
senpai.
God damn
Get out.
it.
All right. So, would you fuck them with an unpeeled pineapple?
I'm just a poor boy from Pennsylvania. I've never encountered a pineapple.
Oh, really?
You've never encountered a pineapple.
Can I
I
move to
don't-
Pennsylvania?
I don't
Shut up,
go places like even right now. I go to work and then I come home, and that's about it.
Hey, agoraphobe life for the win. I understand.
Yeah, I don't. The sun exposure is unsafe.
Yeah, right? Bad for the skin.
All right. Why are pineapples so great? Is the next question.
They're
Well-
not. If they were great, they would have evolved a way to be eaten more.
Thank you.
They
Someone
do
who has.
try to digest you while you digest them, which is pretty cool.
There is some I forget what it's called. The corpse fruit. It smells like dead people when you peel it.
Oh
The
God,
tang-
what is it? The
That sounds
Tang-
wonderful.
The
They're
durian.
like yeah, durian. That's it.
Oh,
the,
yes, that.
Yeah, there's the corpse fruit. There's corpse flowers. A lot of things just smell like dead things to ward off things trying to eat them. But it never works because stupid people think that they're a delicacy because they think that things that are unpleasant are fun, like this.
What if we moved? What if we tried like moving an entire like body bag of durian fruit? I just like got this image
would be-
in my head.
That would be funny, and I'll add that to my list of things I would do if I had fuck you money. If I had so much money that I didn't have to care about anything anymore, I would fill like body bags with durians and just leave them places for dogs to find. The other thing that I would do is I'd go to like deserted islands in like the South China Sea or something, because there's like 30,000 islands there that are just uncharted whatsoever completely. And I'd leave skeletons there, but I'd leave them doing funny things like strangling each other or like 69ing or like
That's
build
too spooky.
like a giant satanic ritual site in there just on the off chance that someone like gets washed up on that shore in like 50 years or something, and they find all this spooky crap and they freak out, and then when they get back to society they'll go on the news and I'll sit probably in the same room that I'm sitting now, and just see that and think, yeah, that was me.
You're fucking with historians.
Good.
That-
They need to get on their toes a little more, man.
That's what they get for taking a bad major.
By the way, I think we are too sober. Would you like to give us a drinking word?
Look at this dude. Look at the top of his head.
Oh,
Thank
dude,
you.
man.
What was
Everybody
it that?
drink.
What was
Dude,
the
watch this.
What was it that Michelle said from Full House? You got it, dude.
Fuck her.
Did
Thank
we
you.
did we just like descend to making a Full House reference on this
Yes, we
fucking
did.
podcast? God
Yes,
damn
we
it, we
did.
don't have enough fucking bullshit going on.
We're too
All
white
right.
for this.
All right, we're gonna move on to Ravage's questions. Which pony has best butt, Mandroid?
Biggest one. Duh.
So
Biggest?
you're saying Celestia.
Yeah, duh.
Well, from Bendy, by the way, in relation to that, would you suck the fat out of Princess Celestia's ass?
Like out of it, or like a liposuction thing.
Like with the straw.
Yeah, like with your
but
mouth.
like
Like
is it?
You
it's-
stab the actual straw into their skin, and then suck the fat out.
Oh, I don't know. I've never tasted pure fat before.
It
Oh,
feels
I
like you have
have.
to.
It's
It feel-
nasty.
Do you have to
Yes.
chew it? Because that's what it feels like to me.
No, because you've never had good meat. I keep Enigma. You've never had good meat ever. So
See, I used to make some best barbecue ever, but that was a summer job.
Better
Well-
than my summer job. I guarantee you, it was better than my summer job.
what's your summer job?
I was at a summer camp for 2 years where I taught children how to, wait for it, do things in Minecraft.
Honey,
Are you fucking serious?
I am
baby.
dead serious. I did that for
Oh.
2 summers
Why?
because I needed a job and I
No.
could.
No, that's not what I don't understand. I understand needing a job and needing money. I want to know why the hell that even exists.
Because so the longer story was, I used to go to like video game design camp when I was I don't know how old you were in seventh grade around there, and that was yeah around there. So that was actually the age where I determined that I didn't want to code video games because I spent 2 minutes looking at HTML and thought I want to kill myself. So that camp went down the shitter because it attracted too many people with autism, which is for real. That's the reason I stopped going. There was too many autistic people there. But my friend got a job there after he had graduated the camp, finger quotes, and he had kept up to date. He had kept in touch with like the guy who ran it. And one day I was just talking to this friend, and he said, "Oh yeah, Ed's looking for people to help teach at his Minecraft camp." I was like, "All right, whatever. That's something. You want to go do something?" And I didn't think of it much. And then that May, I needed a job, and the pressure was on. I was like, you know what? I can do this. I know for a fact that I can do this, and it'll keep me out of a fucking call center where I'll assault somebody. So I called the guy up, and I didn't know how out of a fucking shoebox it was because I was the only teacher there. And I taught children how to make video game levels in Minecraft for 8 weeks. And I wrote the curriculum for them, and I had to deal with so much stupid shit because they were going off of a fucking shoestring. Then that was done. I somehow only spent $1,000 that I earned from that in a year. And then the next year I was like, fuck it, we'll do it again. I don't care. And I went back. This time I was at a much nicer camp. I taught the curriculum that I wrote that he was still using because he was lazy. And that story ended with me getting fired from the camp because I made the guy who owned the camp's 7-year-old son, who was underage for my camp, by the way. You had to be 8 years old to get in, and he was 7. He got in by nepotism, little shit.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was making him feel, quote, unwelcome, because I was terminated, my employment was terminated from that
Are you
place.
shitting me? That's
I was
not
told
bullshit.
at the meeting where I got fired that I was too dry.
That was
And I
so.
thought,
That's, oh.
I'm never working for you people again.
Did you
Man.
tell them that? Did you? No, no. Did you tell them off? Did you tell them that I'm never working for you people again?
Fuck.
Because you should have.
Fuck that. And that I have never played Minecraft since that day because
Man, that
Yeah.
just ruined your career as a professional Minecrafter. I feel so terrible for you.
I'll tell you what'll ruin my career as a professional Minecrafter when I fucking tie a noose and hang myself. Ugh. I can't do it. I cannot do it anymore. It's been ruined.
I'm
It's
so
been ruined
sorry.
by I still remember the top three awful children I had to deal with.
You want to punch those kids in the face? Did you
Oh,
punch those
the
kids
best
in the face?
thing? The best thing. You can go onto like the cringy Minecon videos. I have seen at least one child that I have taught in those videos.
Oh,
Showcase in those videos.
you spread your influence.
It was not dedicated Lamb Boy, but I don't even remember the question they asked. But I remember I was watching one of those videos and I paused it and I thought, I know you. I am the reason you were there. Fuck. Ugh. Alright.
So,
Would I make out with Margaret Thatcher? You spelled Margaret wrong.
thank you. Thank you. I was going to ask you that one.
I don't even know how a live action movie would work.
Like
With
live
like
action Equestria Girls,
Like
probably.
CG ponies? Would there be
I
CG
guess,
ponies?
but that seems just like Disney Channel pure, like just really
Like
stupid.
what they did with Green Lantern.
Hey, Mandroid, quick question. Can you hear Pencil?
Can you?
No,
Can you hear me?
I didn't. I don't even see her lighting up.
Oh,
But I'm not looking at it.
lovely.
Should I reconnect?
Yeah. Yes.
She says
Yeah,
yes.
let's go ahead and do that. Just real quick.
Alright.
No more than 2 seconds.
Technical difficulties because it wouldn't be streamed without technical difficulties.
Don't we always?
Alright. I can hear her
Can you
now.
hear me now?
Awesome.
Yeah, okay. Just in
Yes.
the event that
I
that keeps
cannot
happening.
hear him. It's doing the thing, guys.
He can
Alright.
hear you, but you can't hear.
Man,
Can,
we're
can
having
everyone
fun.
hear each other now?
Alright, who else am I? What other
I
question is there?
can-
No one gives two shits about the time you used HTML code or that you're a pro at it.
Thank you.
Oh fuck.
By the Can you hear me
Um,
now? Mandroid, can you hear me now?
Fuda is an awful fetish.
Apparently, you can't.
It's totally for fags.
Everything's going to shit on this stream
Oh,
so
God.
early.
It's okay. I'm just gonna
Alright.
be. Android is just gonna not hear me. The rest of the cast, it's gonna be fine.
I can't hear her now, so I'll try and disconnect and come back.
Wow, dude.
Technical difficulties in the cast.
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
man.
Can you
Pencil.
hear me?
Pencil, darling, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alright, cool.
We did it.
We're gonna go to questions. We're gonna go to questions. We're gonna do this.
I'm so sorry.
Here we
Let's
go.
do this.
All right. Why is Luna's butt superior to Celestia's?
She's not. You have bad taste.
Yes.
Okay, fuck you, Ravage. What pony butt would you bang without question or hesitation?
How clean is it?
It's spotless.
It's white.
That all you said a magic word.
White
Uh,
butt supremacy, I guess.
What does
White
it take
feature
to
right
write? What does it take to write good butt action?
You have to focus on the cheeks.
The cheeks, not the area between.
No, like most people don't care. Like the only people who care about buttholes are freaks and degenerates. Shout out to the guy I'm talking about who will know who he is when he hears this. But
Ooh.
most people focus on the cheeks. That's why traps are popular. Dude, you can try and kick my ass. I'm like 6 feet tall.
Drink.
Oh, dude.
I don't have to watch the chat for a change. You're watching it. It's great.
I've been on Twitch before. Would I bend over for rarity? No. I can't
Alright.
even bend over. I have I have a problem with my legs. My tendons in the back of my legs are tiny. I can't touch my toes.
Maybe.
Nobody believes me that I can barely get past my knees, but they try and push me down, and I just don't go that far.
Just face plant. Done.
I am not a well-built person.
Well, if everyone's trying to push you down, you must be doing something right.
Speaking of being
So-
well built, what
Yeah.
horse has best udders?
Obviously, be Milky Way.
Yes.
She does have the
Thinking.
best udders, yes.
That's the only ones that you can qualify as udders.
Well, I don't know,
Are-
like. Oh, I guess you're right.
All right. What humanized horse would have best tits?
Abishag.
Applejack?
Abishag. Yeah.
That country flair, and it's got those big country titties.
Oh
She's
God,
so
why am I
athletic.
Yeah. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Because when I went to faggy art school, I went to school with people who worked on Disney animated pictures. So I've been around people who know how to design characters.
Oh, wow.
It's the fact that she's proportional. She is very tall. She has broad shoulders. That also means broad hips. But it's the fact that she is tall and she doesn't look like she looks the least cartoonish. Hang
So
on.
you like them childbearing hips, in other words.
That's fine, but it's the fact that she is tall and everything just sort of like fits together. Pinkie Pie looks too fat. Rarity looks too what's the word?
Petite.
Artificial. Like she's about as in most art you'll see she's about as tall, but not
To
as
me,
tall.
To me, it sounded like you were saying that she went under the knife a couple times.
Yeah, that like you could if there's anyone you could buy that for, it'd be her, right? Like
What about Yellow Horse though?
no one cares about her.
Okay. What? Well, I think we just answered this next one. What pony has best bod? Humanized and pony. So I guess Apple Horse. What's
Yeah, about that. It depends who's drawing it. That's the caveat. Is it's going to depend what kind of artist is drawing it. If we're gonna go into one of those artists who's drawing people wearing hijabs and fucking like making them Armenian amputee lesbians, then none of them look appealing.
Hey, wait. Are you speaking about amputee lesbians? Because I think I could get into that.
Yeah.
Amputee Lesbians, the
You
movie,
forgot-
the
Yeah.
game.
You forgot the fact that they're Armenian as well.
Well, no. As long as the legs are what's not there, I think we're good.
They're Armenian. They smell bad.
I could bathe them. It's not like they can run away.
They're Armenian.
Is this the new Misery? Is this where we're going?
Spoken like someone who's never
I
been Armenian. Lynch the neighbors for not allowing the kinky sex to continue. Both of my neighbors are weird. There's like people who have 6 German shepherds at once, and a guy who lives with his mother when he's 45.
Well, do you have any like weird stories about your neighbors, particularly?
One time, I was like 2 years ago or something. Anybody who lives in the Northeast will know this. It was the year we got the awful snow your ass off blizzard, and there was
Oh,
an
the
awful
cold snap.
Yeah, the cold snap. There was like a foot of snow every week on the weekend, exactly, and we had an awful ice storm here. And my house we have a portable generator at my house because because of the profession my father was in. So we had power, we had heat, and my neighbor lost his power, so he had to cut. So one day I wake up in the early afternoon. I come and I hear, it's like, why the fuck is this guy over here? And then my dad says, yeah, they lost power, so they're just coming over to warm up. I'm like, okay, well, I better go be nice and social. So I come downstairs and I talk to these people, and I don't realize that my shirt that I wore to bed has just the word fuck right across my chest.
Good fucking job.
Oh hey, what's going on? Fuck!
It was somewhat subtle. It's a nice. I love this shirt because it's a polyester shirt, so it doesn't it doesn't wrinkle. It's spelled with unknown from Pokemon. It just says fuck right across the shirt in unknown letters. And I like for a second there, I like as soon as I realized it was like, wait, they might not notice. And then my dad took one look at me and he just gave me like the go upstairs and change right the fuck now, sure. Like, shit, if he notices, they definitely notice. So I ran upstairs and changed my shirt and just like, yeah, that one was sweaty or something. Whatever.
What inspires you to write?
Like in general, or do you just want the story that made me start?
I want that. I want that.
All right. The way that it started was when the Anon and Equestria thread started, 7 years ago.
Seriously.
Yeah. Like I've been writing for you people longer than I've been in college, and that's a fucking scary thought.
What do you mean, you people?
I mean, you filthy slant.
Excellent. Good.
Anyway, so I would read as people would post. A lot of people would post back then. I can't name them all, but I would read and I would think, just how would I do this? Were I the one doing this story? How would I write someone in this situation? And I did that for I don't remember when the thread started, but until May 5th, which is when I started writing. And eventually it just got to the point where that was all I was thinking about, was the things that I would have these characters do in this situation were I the one in charge. And eventually it just got too much, and it dominated so much of my thoughts that one morning, I think it was a Thursday or something, at 3 in the morning, after I had just made some pasta, I went up to my room and I was just like, fuck it, we're doing this, we're going right now, we're going right now. And I banged out 1,000 words and I posted it under a punny name that I used to use, and I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. Wait, I'm not getting any U's. Where are my U's? Oh wait, it's 3 a.m. Whatever, I'll make another one. I wrote 700 more words in like another hour, posted that, went to bed. And then because I lived without a job and had nothing else to do, I got into the habit of writing every single day. So it just became this habit where it's like, okay, wake up, screw around online for a few hours, eat, shower, sit down, 1,000 words, then I can do what I want. And I did that every day for about 2 months, because I think Bros and Equestria was 88 chapters, and I missed one day. Maybe one.
Right.
No, it wasn't. It was actually less than that, because for the final arc, I did 2 chapters a day.
Holy shit.
That is the day that is the time when I learned it's really good to plan shit out. Because once I planned everything out, and I knew what I was doing with those final chapters, it was just really easy to go bam, 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 bam. Everything that I was doing for that was like thought out months in advance, so it was pretty easy. What else? I know a guy. Would I teach English or fiction writing online? I would, but I can't promise that it would be any like good. Like, I just do things. My word choice is awful. I still misspell words all the time. I rely on spell check a lot. That being said, I am trying to pursue writing as a career, because I read my shitty American comic books, and I look at what's going on, and I think, I can do better than this. I know I can do better than this, for a fact. I have to do something.
I wish you luck. I wish you. Yeah. Hopefully, you can be the hero we need.
Yeah, in 10 years. In 10 years, we'll do this again at San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll fucking shit on a bunch of people.
Excellent.
Remember how Superman was just fucking terrible?
remember this time when nobody liked when the X-Men were terrible all the time, forever? Yeah, I don't like that either. Would I take a massive Fuda dick up my butt to gain immortality? Probably not, because as a friend of mine is often to say, once you get immortality, once you live forever, the odds of you ending up in a cave-in that you cannot escape from increase to 100%, because eventually that will just happen. You will
my God.
You will just be in a...
For the sake of irony.
Yeah, you will be in a circumstance where you will be in a cave and there will be a cave in and you can do nothing about it. You have to dig your way out over like 50 years. And that would just suck so hard. You're gonna starve it. You're gonna starve, but you can't die. You're gonna be thirsty, but you can't do anything about it. You just have to dig until you're out. And if you can live forever, eventually, that will happen. Everything will happen eventually.
Would the worms eat away at your skin?
Uh, Worms only really eat dying flesh, and if you're
That's kind of what I thought, but I mean,
Yeah, like-
if your body's already completely deprived of nutrients, even if there's some force that's like keeping you alive.
well,
Deprived,
then you
not depraved.
Sorry.
yeah, if you in that case and you just end up like this husky zombie person, I don't know.
Hooray!
I guess
they dig you up and you're just like, hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, just,
Anyone got a sandwich? I'd like
Guys.
a sandwich.
what?
We are-
What
we are-
year is it? What
We are
year
behind.
is it?
You're behind in questions, so please move us along.
Okay, I'm trying. What seemingly or somewhat impossible thing do you want to do or have happen to you?
Like just the coolest thing that I could imagine.
Yeah.
I always said that if I ever met Eminem, the first thing I would say was, "Hi, it's nice to meet you. I read your comic book."
Aw.
Wait, the one with Punisher?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I think it'd be funny. Or other than that, it's just like apart from the lame shit, like, oh, I want to be an accomplished writer, or I'd like to be super rich, or do this, that, the other. Just I'd like meet Kanye West and say, let's get high and watch Akira for like 4 hours.
That actually, that wouldn't be a bad time.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Dreams.
So you don't
Dude.
want to like get superpowers and just do fuck all with them.
There's two superpowers that I would want. I'd want to fly, so I wouldn't have to be in traffic, and I'd want to be able to to phase through solid objects because sometimes I'm far too lazy to open up a door.
So you want superpowers not to like save the world, but because you want to be able to be even lazier.
Just what's going to happen if you get superpowers and save the world? Some government is going to say we need to stop this person who can shoot laser beams out of their dick. So if I can just like go through, not have to open doors or just not have to be in traffic or do any of that, that'd be fine. Or just read minds so I can not have to get surprised by people.
Fantastic. All right.
All right. How many lives is a utopia worth?
6 million wasn't enough.
Let's move on.
If
Wow,
there's no
dude.
afterlife, does that cheapen human life or make it more valuable?
I don't know. Probably cheapen, just because if there's no afterlife, then that means there's no afterlife for the other life forms in the universe. So statistical odds say that someone's better at doing stuff than we are. I don't know. I'm just an entertainer. I don't have the answer to that question.
Well, you're not a philosophist? What the fuck? Why are you here?
Philosophist. Okay, let's move on before I yell.
Philosopher's Stone.
These people have Patreon. These people have Patreons for writing.
I know!
honey. I know.
The only
I
person
do.
that does is fucking Enigma. Okay.
Enigma does, yeah.
What is the best melee weapon and why is it the Warhammer?
That's spoken like someone who's not a string bean. The best melee weapon would probably be... No, they did the math on this. It's a lightsaber, because from any angle, it can cut anything. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
All right.
That's fair.
What pony would most likely kill millions
Twilight.
for the greater good? Oh,
Twilight.
Straight Twilight. If you had to kill
Guys,
millions,
we have to kill.
Autism speaks, kids.
if you had to kill millions, what methods would you use to get the job done in detail?
You people know the answer to this question.
No, please go on. Go on, please.
A highly regimented structure of trains and ovens.
Perfect.
Explain.
No, it's really gonna burn some people up. So we better move along.
There have been people. There have been people in history who have figured this stuff out. And like one guy got it right, and other people have just been doing that for years.
Okay. How much cocaine is too much cocaine?
Depends on how heavy you are.
Would you rather stick your dick in a jar of angry spiders or let your dominant hand slowly get crushed in a hydraulic press?
Angry spiders.
Yeah, because
All right.
there's a good chance your dick won't like. I wrote about this actually. I did the research. There's a good chance your dick will not necrotize and fall off. There's a good chance you will not have permanent nerve damage. So, and there's a good chance that the angry spiders will not actually all try to bite you. They'll try to kill each other. So that is your best bet.
When I was like 10 years old, I went to summer camp and we put spiders we found in like Tupperware containers and make them fight each other. So they kill each other pretty handily. Plus, if I lose my dong, then it's like, oh, whatever.
Mandroid.
I wasn't doing anything with it. If I lose my hand, I can't do dick. I can't fucking play video games. I can't write stuff. I can't do my job. It's that. Yeah.
Dude, by the way, I've been saying, dude, you guys have not been drinking, so fucking catch up, guys.
Dude.
The sweet irony is that your dick gets spider powers. Only your dick.
It shots web. There you go. Perfect.
Don't get that in your hair. Don't get that in your hair.
Oh.
You have to
My
cut it
spider
out like
senses are tingling.
No, they have to cut it out like it's gum. No, they have to cut it out like it's gum.
Hey, look at it this way. You could stick to a wall.
I'm just imagining this guy in New York swinging by his crotch.
Is
He
it
does hold his hands down there when he swings. So.
is it the same guy who's asking all the Fuda questions?
Yes.
Oh no! Don't mind Bendy. Bendy will ask these questions. Just be ready for it. It's gonna happen.
It's not that I'm not ready for it. It's just like, buddy, there are some questions you have to ask yourself.
Oh no! Bendy knows the answer to those questions. Bendy knows the answer. He's written more words than all but 3 people on the site, I believe, at this point, and the majority of them are about butts and Fuda.
Yeah.
So.
Bendy's what I call a butt philosopher.
Let's
We're
move on.
We're gonna try and turn through more questions, even though this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If horse saliva contained trace amounts of highly corrosive acid, would you still kiss Best Pony?
No, I need my mouth. There are people who are wrong that I need to tell them. Let this thing let this thing go longer. Your viewers are going to be more value the entertainment longer than an hour of my life is gone.
It's 2 hours.
We go for 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Whatever.
Don't worry.
Yeah, no, we go for 2 hours. Let's see. Would you a thing pone?
I don't know what that is.
Let me get it.
No, we gotta teach this because it's actually something that started on 4chan.
Yes.
Basically, have you seen John Carpenter's The Thing?
That's what I was imagining. Yeah, my movie theater is actually playing The Thing. I think tonight. But yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So
well, here I'll put it in stream only so you can see it.
Yeah, just like big. Oh,
She's adorable.
eh.
She also is like there are more distressing pictures of her elsewhere, but you know.
Man, all those orifices, orifici, plural.
I mean, like, how can you resist such
It'd probably
wonderful
be.
things as this?
That
Like, how
depends.
can you resist that?
Is it malicious? It might make a good pet. Like
No. She
that could
loves
grab-
you to death.
No, Think Pone actually loves you.
Loves you, is very kind, but once you start to have sex with her, the sensations overwhelm her and she starts reverting back to the thing.
No, that's a big if. That's not gonna happen. She's just gonna live in my house and eat rats like that cockroach I used to have.
Your cockroach ate rats?
Oh no, it wasn't a cockroach. It was a gecko. When I lived in Florida, Florida has an awful bug problem because it's so fucking humid. I had to have like 12 different cockroach traps, but there'd still be bugs in my house. And one day, a gecko slid under my door after I got back from class at like midnight. And I was like, I'm too fucking tired to deal with you. And it skittered under my stove, and it just lived there for like 3 months eating bugs. So probably a good idea. Just that thing can eat fucking rats and stray cats and my neighbor's dogs.
Did you give it a name?
Gex.
Of course you did.
Of course. Gets the gecko.
Yeah, Gex the gecko, video game I played when I was like 8.
Oh yeah, I lived and breathed that game. But at the same time, that's such a typical thing to do, like having a Sonic or having a Sonic, having a hedgehog and naming it Sonic.
I don't know about you. I'm naming mine Sonichu because I am an avid.
The electric Pikachu?
I am an avid Christorian, something that not many people may know. Back when I was in college, this is another thing that happened when I was there. Mass Effect 2 came out the same time I was in college, and Mass Effect 2 had some bitchin' long loading screens. So what I would do while the loading screens were going is I'd have my laptop on a chair next to me, and as they would go, I'd read articles on the Sonichu wiki.
Oh my god.
And that just became something I would do. As I was waiting for games to load, I would just read the Sonichu wiki. I'd be in class and I'd be like, huh, he shoved something up his butt. Go, great for him.
All right, what do you think of 3D printed candy?
Never eaten it.
Well, the answer is obviously it's awesome, and it's how we're going to get everlasting gobstoppers. So no one complain about it. Period.
I've got like a 3D printed gear thingy in my hand right now. That it's just like 2 gears that you can flick together, and it's just something that I use to occupy my hands.
Kind of, yeah.
Is that the closest we're gonna get to replicators?
Probably.
One of these days.
God, I hope so.
Can jet fuel melt stank memes?
And only the dankest.
All right. Does the raw, slimy flesh found under a freshly peeled scab intrigue you?
No, that's weird. You're weird.
Oh, okay.
How does it feel to know that humanity is likely one of the first sapient species in the relatively nearby universe, meaning we may be the ones to create the same sort of galactic federation, thus being a large influence on the development of extraterrestrial species?
That you need to listen to what Stephen Hawking says, because that's entirely dependent on us developing a sizable galactic federation before other aliens find us and curb stomp us. There's something like that. We got lucky with that once when the Indians happened. Well, not lucky because that's just what everybody did. But yeah, we have to basically replicate the events of expansionist Spain and become the biggest kid on the block that nobody could stand up to.
And a lot of people still get fucked in the process.
Yeah, but they're brown. Whatever.
Moving on.
Okay. I'm sorry. They're red.
Okay, there we go. Better.
That's better.
Would you rather press a button that ends the lives of 5 people quickly and painlessly, or slowly and painfully eviscerate one person over the course of hours while rarely breaking eye contact with them?
5 people? I don't got that kind of time.
Ain't no one got time for that.
I do not. After 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I have something I can be doing.
All right. What field of science confounds you the most?
Particle physics. I don't know.
All right.
Dude, I failed 9th grade math. What do you expect?
Oh man.
It's fine. The next question's a little easier. It's your choice. You can say anything you fucking want. How big is your dick? Go ahead. We'll wait. Massive. Nailed it. If you had to give up one in order to get an infinite supply of the other, would you rather go for beef jerky or bacon?
I don't eat either of them, so it doesn't matter to me.
What? Are you vegetarian?
You don't fuck. Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I'm straight. I just don't eat beef jerky or bacon.
What meats do you eat? Let's be clear.
Shitty hot dogs.
Oh, baby. You don't eat good steak or
my family
chops, or...
I eat most of what I eat's pasta. That's usually what I have for dinner. But other than that, it's like if I need to eat something quick, it's crappy hot dogs. If I want to go out, we just get pizza.
But steak.
I don't know.
Man, we have a similar diet then.
Pencil. Nobody has time for fucking steak.
I make steak. It's awesome.
I don't have time for that.
Everyone makes time for steak. You ask anyone this, except for vegetarians, because they don't understand the concept of
I never made time for steak.
Dominion over animals, but that's a matter.
I work with a vegan, and he got really annoyed at me when I showed him a news article that said plants can feel pain.
Oh man!
Oh, good job. Good job. Oh, anyway.
All
Anyway.
right. Cock or tits? And I believe they're talking about the Flash games.
I don't know what is like. What?
C or CITS?
Yeah, Corruption of Champions, or I don't know what tits is.
It's Tainted Trials in Space.
No,
Oh.
never.
Or Trials
I've
in
never
Space,
played. I've never played either because I can tell you the day that I stopped playing Flash games. It was the day that I got a new computer, but my graphics card, there was like a fuck up, and they sent me a really underpowered graphics card. I was like 15 or something when this happened.
Uh-huh.
And a new one couldn't get there for a month. So the only thing I could do for a month was go on Newgrounds, and that's all I did. And after that, once my new graphics card or computer came in, I decided I'm done. I don't need to do this anymore. I check out here. Bye.
All right. The next question is, how much anon could a non-pencil pencil if a non-pencil could pencil anon?
About 4 inches.
Dude. What is the longest duration of time that you spent masturbating nonstop?
6 hours.
Jesus. That is some stamina, man.
You were committed.
What is the longest duration?
That's the longest I've written for, and everybody knows that all my writing is self-masturbatory.
I see it.
Now I'm just imagine you being like, I have to finish writing this fucking story. I'm getting chafing. So,
That if I ever like commit to finishing a story on a certain night, like if I say this chapter is going up on Thursday, you can set your watch to it. If I'm late on that Thursday putting it up, that just means that my back hurt or my legs are acting up, so I had to go walk around for a while.
Oh.
Or I got distracted.
Have you ever played the Neverhood?
Nope.
Do you know of any stories that are good but don't get much recognition?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that people import from, a lot of the stuff that people like from from the AIE threads bring over is really good, and nobody talks about it. Like, I saw someone linking Eighth's Moody shorts earlier. Those are great. I'm really glad that those are getting attention. But seriously, there's just a metric ton of other really good stuff that comes over that nobody hears because people are too chicken shit to go to 4chan.
It's that, and there's a massive stigma on fanfiction regarding anon that I don't understand, but
those people are gay.
It is what it is.
That's fucking stupid. I challenge anybody who's in the chat right now to actually explain this stigma to me and like make it make sense. But
okay, so I'll play devil's advocate because I've argued this with a lot of people before. Here's the deal. The thing that they run into with anon is that the minute they see anon as a character name, they don't see you. They don't see you as a character. They see the green-faced anonymous character.
That's stupid, but luckily there's a way around that. I've done it. You just have to, like,
So have I.
Yeah, like, there's 2 ways you can do this. One, have anonymous be a taken name. Just, he shows up, takes a name for whatever reason. He's hiding from someone, doesn't remember his name, whatever. Other, describe that, make actual descriptions of him, like he has white skin, or he has a beard, or stern eyes, whatever. Don't, like, just whatever you can do to get away from the question mark face thing. I did that in one of my stories, where Anonymous donned the suit tie question mark thing as a get up because he was in a rock band. So the mask was an actual mask, and that's how I got around that. But most people, like, this is fan fiction about horses. Why are you like, this doesn't matter. Yeah, this doesn't fucking matter. You're gonna bitch about this and not the 1.5 trillion fucking. Okay, first off, none of these characters are gay. None of them.
They can be.
None of them. Wing boners are something we invented.
Oh, totally.
We invented that. You want to go in and pick apart stuff that's not canon? You're gonna be here. Take the entire site down.
From what I understand, from a lot of people, though.
From what I understand, from what I seem to understand, because people have bitched at me about it on my page on my pages before is people like who either A, don't like second person narrative stories, which that's fine. That's whatever. I can't do anything about that, but I do urge you to get the fuck over it because you're missing out on stuff.
Yep.
And B is they can't like figure out how to. They've never encountered fiction where they're supposed to impart themselves onto it before. Like everybody else is. If you've played a video game, I think you can do this because anybody who's played like any first-person shooter ever knows that you're supposed to impart your personality and whatever onto the onto the character that you're playing, be the point of view character. So
Yes.
we get that because we have 3-digit IQs, but other people just I don't know. They expect when they use. I feel like this is the same type of people who like when you have something bad happen to a fictional character, they're like, you shouldn't do that. Think about the fictional character's feelings. No, I'm not going to do that. They don't exist. This person is a figment of my imagination, and they have no rights. I can do whatever I want to them.
No, it's true.
It is true, but when it's said like that, I just think it's humorous.
I don't have to. I can be mean to them as I want. They don't have feelings. They don't exist. You need to get over it.
Yep.
You were raised by television. That's. Alright. What would you change about how people write MLP fanfiction? Honestly, the biggest thing I would change is just like understand where you are. Is the biggest thing. Don't try to be. Fuck My Little Dashie and fuck Fallout Equestria. Those are awful. Those are people who took themselves seriously. You should.
No, Robbie Cakes does not take himself seriously.
We've actually had the creator of My Little Dashie in this podcast, and he hates his own story.
He hates it so much. He's like, "Why do people worship this?" He really.
Okay. I would shake hands with that guy, but like, but you understand what I'm saying. People who try to like write the next one, they're taking themselves. You are taking yourself too seriously. This is a show. This is a show about horses that you are very likely 3 times out of the age group for, the targeted age group. There are people who are writing Warhammer crossovers with it. There are people who are writing any fucking crossover with it. Crossovers suck, first off. But, like, he says having written a crossover. But
it's fine. We don't judge here.
Like, just don't take it so seriously. Just like have some fun with it. It's okay if you take it seriously in context of the story, because that's important. You need that for a story to work. But you should not take it so seriously. The best example I can give is Metal Gear Solid. Those games, you can tell by the way they're put together that the people who are doing them do not take them that seriously whatsoever. They take certain moments of them seriously. They take making the game seriously, but there's still the fact that a legitimate aspect of the first game was, I need to find this person, so I better stare at their asses until I can find their very noticeable hip movements. But in the context of the universe, all that's serious all the time, and that's where it works. Do that, but don't think you're making art, because all we're doing is, pissing around. You can use this you can cut your teeth on this and use it as a stepping stone, but this isn't going to make you famous.
No, I agree. I wrote something on that recently. I know you saw that, but we need to move on. We are way behind, so let's go.
Okay. No hooves? Question mark.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this might be related to one of my stories I wrote where it was a humanized story, and that was the rock band story. And the reason I did that was because I could not, for the life of me, think of a way to make people levitating guitars in the air A, sound interesting, and B, not be autistic. So I just cut that off at the knees and was like, okay, they're people. Fuck it.
Good job.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you ever wonder what human flesh tastes like?
It tastes like pork. Everyone knows that.
It doesn't, but that's okay.
What's the most pain you've ever experienced?
I was born with testicular torsion.
Oh, honey! Oh, God! Dude, I am so sorry. By the way, drink everyone for that. Everyone drink for that shit.
Way to make me cringe.
I told this story like a week ago. Yeah, I was born. It's not bad. Like I had an operation for it, and they took care of it. But now, every so often, when it gets like cold, my balls will like go up inside me or something, and just like the muscles down there will contract, and it'll be very painful to sit. So I have to go and take a warm shower. Other than that, not too bad. Everyone's taken like painful shits before, or broken a bone, or any of that.
I'm trying to find out a clever way of saying how your mom fucked up your balls, but it's just not coming to me.
It just happened. I didn't even notice something. I didn't even notice something was wrong. I had my wisdom teeth taken out once, but
So you literally came out of the womb with your nuts in a twist.
I guess.
Good job. I fixed it for you, priest. You're welcome.
Good. Do you have any scars?
A few. Like, I burnt myself cooking. I've got my back's all fucking scarred up because I had bad back knee.
Asterisks or meme arrows?
For what?
I don't know, actually.
There's no context. It's just asterisks or meme arrows.
Which one do you prefer, in general?
I usually use meme arrows more often, but I think that's just the company that I roll with.
Probably true.
Like asterisks, I think would be used to like draw attention to a word, like if you're bolding it or something.
Yeah, emphasis.
Yeah.
Now we have some questions from Bendy, the Fuda butt guy from the chat.
Yay!
Let's
rapid fire this shit.
What should the punishment be for having a bigger and fatter butt than Princess Celestia's butt?
Back problems.
How many times should a story contain the word butt?
No more than 4.
Do you think there should be more stories focusing on Princess Celestia's butt?
I think you need some help.
Is the big fat pony butt in the story the only thing that really matters?
To you.
Would you bang Princess Celestia's big fat butt?
White future, bright future.
Praise the sun or praise the moon? The sun is bigger, by the way, which I mean by Princess Celestia's bigger and fatter butt.
I've answered this question before.
Yes.
Okay. Is Princess Luna's butt inferior and bony thin when compared to Princess Celestia's big fat butt?
That is true. Like, you could look at her on her show model, and she looks like bony and like fragile.
She kind of does, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fact that like she has the same proportions as her sister, but her sister is like twice as tall. So proportionally, her model is bigger, but she's like about as tall as everyone else. Maybe a head taller, so she just like looks like she looks breakable.
So that is Cadence.
I can talk about Birds and Equestria later. Yeah, everyone usually wants me to talk about that.
Definitely. In fact, if you want, like that, this is a story we're supposed to be talking about our own, like your stories. So by all means, you talked about Bros in Equestria being something you just kind of wrote as like writing a chapter a day. But is that your first story? Like, talk about it a little.
That was the first thing not the first thing I wrote, because I used to write like super autistic fan fiction when I was like 10 and I didn't know any better. But then once I gained a sense of self-awareness, I was like, I should stop doing this. This is weird. And then that was the first time I wrote anything of any like length. And I didn't know I was going to go on for so long either. I knew how I wanted to end it, which I can go into when we get more in depth on it. But I think we should finish the questions first. But like I knew how I wanted to end it, and I knew certain points that I wanted to hit. But everything in the middle, like ambling along for as long as I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Half those ideas came like an hour beforehand of me in the shower, or like a day beforehand while I was in bed.
Fair enough. All right. Now we have questions from Vylon, and these questions.
Milk's waifu. Yeah. All right.
You guys are gonna do that every time, aren't you?
Yeah, we are.
Oh Lord.
The first question is, what do you believe should be the reason for writing?
I think the reason for writing should be because you want to tell a story. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you might want to do that. Stephen King coined a rule called the goddamn awful rule, where everything you read is just so awful that you have to do something. You have to make something better, just so not everything's awful. You could just really be into it. You could do it for a commission. You could just want to write smut. I don't care what you need. But the reason for writing should be because you want to write a story. There's something about, you have some idea that speaks to you that you want to get out in some capacity. That's like a cop-out answer, but that's
No, basically because you wanted to.
Yeah,
Not because you want to get horse famous.
Yeah, don't do it to trying to become fucking fan fiction famous is like trying to invent the next hot meme. But like, the best reason for anything you could do in your entire life is because I wanted to.
Yep.
Well, no, that's the second best reason. The best reason is because it'd be really, really funny.
Awesome. Okay. Yes. Fair. It could be both too. It could be both.
Yeah, I want to do things that are really, really, really funny. Should I like interject if I see things in the chat that I should answer?
If you want, if you want,
things
go
you
ahead.
want to answer in the chat, please feel free.
Okay. How do you write less serious? The easiest way that I can think of is to learn how to laugh at yourself. If you can learn how to laugh at yourself and mock yourself and deride yourself, you can take the piss out of what you write. Too many people make their stories their darlings and they don't want to do anything with it. I think that's that's a big mistake because Pencil took that ball and ran with it and makes awful things happen. But
sorry,
we don't judge here. But you need to like. No one's going to like a guy. No one ever, if you make your writing your darling, no one ever will like what you write as much as you like it. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. You need to get that through your head. So
your stories are not your babies.
Stories are not your babies. Yeah, I can't say that enough.
People like seeing characters overcome things, but in order to overcome things, bad stuff has to happen. And like actual bad stuff. And failing that, take the piss out of it. You know what you like. You know what you like. Write something similar to what you like stuff that makes you laugh. I guarantee you there will be an audience for it.
It's true. I agree with this wholeheartedly. There's people who like my stuff, and honestly, I write it because it entertains me. And my characters don't overcome anything; they die. So
the easiest way to think about it is think of any crappy movie on the planet. Think of not like Space Jam, but like think of like Home Alone 3. There is someone on the planet right now who is all about Home Alone 3. That is their favorite fucking movie in the world. They have like merchandise for it. That you are Home Alone 3 in that analogy. Just find that person.
Know your audience. Everyone has one.
Yeah, know your audience. That's the best advice you can give. All right, I can read some of these if I want, or if you want.
I'm really interested in your answer to the next question. I actually held a panel at BabsCon about this particular question.
I heard about that. If BabsCon were not on the opposite end of the fucking country and not in the worst state in the union, I would have gone and sat on that panel with you and see Moose get arrested.
Oh God! How would you?
I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm sorry.
How would you compare?
I guarantee you are not done because as I was planning for this the next few days, I was like, I am totally going to rip into her about that because I heard that story and I thought that was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
What about it was funny?
We're gonna have to share that story on this podcast.
When he came to your hotel room while Bolding was there, and you very clearly broke him by what you two did, and that is what caused him to act like a fuckwit and get arrested. That's what's funniest to me. It's the fact that you know exactly.
No, I don't. He got arrested before I laid into him.
I thought from what I understand, the series of events was that he was being an asshole or annoying or whatever, or Moose, and he probably wanted to fuck you because you're the first girl who's paid attention to him. And you and Bolding were hanging out in your hotel room, and he knocked on the door, and you were like,
"Oh no, the joke.
I
will happily explain this. No, Bolding and I were hanging in the hotel room, and everyone left, and Bolding and I were in there, and they were coming back, and I was like, and he just goes, "Want to fuck with him?" I'm like, "Yeah." And so we put a fucking sock on the doorknob and waited. And
You didn't just put a sock on the doorknob.
No, it gets better. We just put a sock on the doorknob and we're hanging out in there talking about, of all things, Pinkie Pie episodes. And a knock comes on the door. And Bolding just looks and goes, "I'm busy." And the knock comes again, and Bull is like, fine, and he like adjusts his pants a little bit, like puts his zipper down slightly, and
I was not told that. I was told he took his pants off and got down
No.
to his boxers.
No,
and
he
just
did
went to
not.
the
He
door
just,
and
no, no,
that.
no. He slightly undid his zipper and went to the door and opened it. Was like, what? And Vox and everyone else looked at the sock and knew exactly what that meant, and they were looking at Bolding in just terror, like, what have we done? Moose is totally oblivious. And he just strides right in. He's like, man, why'd you guys put a sock on the door? And I had enough sense of mind to play up the bit, and I adjust my skirt down and like wipe my mouth and like, what guys, what? And Moose still doesn't get it, and everybody else in the room does. And later on they confronted Bolding about it. They're like, so you went pencil? He's like, no. Nothing like that happened.
The other thing, the other
No,
thing-
I thought Moose got arrested because he punched a cop in the dick.
He did. He punched a cop in the dick. That's why he got arrested after we cut him loose because he was getting drunk and stupid and making an ass of himself. And he was totally uncontrollable, and he spit in my face because he doesn't understand personal space. And we were like, he's a liability. We were cutting him loose. And so we did not hang out with him. And he, for like the rest of the night at all. And then we get a knock on our door in the early morning, and it's hotel security saying, is your friend here? And we're like, why? It's like, well, he was arrested last night. He caused a lot of damage to the hotel because he kicked a hole in the wall and he fucked with some cars in the parking garage. And if he's here, he's not allowed on the grounds, so we need to have him removed. And I was like, oh, shit, well, thank you. And then he showed up at the hotel room like 10 minutes later, and he opened the door, and my exact words were, you need to leave. And so then he left, and then all the damages were attempted to be pinned on one of my friends who had the hotel room under his name, and he had his dad's credit card, and it was terrifying. And so Moose came back in, and then I laid into Moose in public, and he started to cry.
Yeah.
And I just,
anybody who's listening, this guy deserves it more. Like,
I laid into him so hard, like, because
That's so
I said some serious shit, like, in front of everyone in the lobby. Security was standing there, and they actually let me handle it because I was that angry. And, yeah, now Moose is permanently banned from Burning.con, so there you go.
the other thing I said I was going to do is me and Bolding talked about it because this was back when he was dressed as Dan. I was going to also
Yes.
I was going to also dress as Dan because, as I linked my picture earlier, I look like him. And me and Bolding were going to meet up and just have a screaming match in the middle of everybody.
Oh, I would love that. That would have been amazing. I'm sorry I took up so much time, but that's the actual story of what happened, honestly. So there you go.
Okay.
Fuck
Anyway,
Moose.
let's go to another question because
Yeah.
holy shit, this is a good podcast. How would you compare film fiction and /MLP?
Film fiction is I think film fiction is it's way more like thin. Like, it's the same problem with like Reddit or something, or any community where you have a name. As soon as you have a name to stuff, you have a reputation, and you have to cultivate your reputation. I think any problem with like fan fiction being the largest fan fiction site for this stuff in the world is that it's going to attract a lot of people who are very sensitive in certain respects. Some legitimately because they might have actual like developmental problems, and some not so legitimately because they were just too much of a spurg to not wear their fedora. But I think fan fiction is way less.
Don't try to be politically correct. Just spit it
I'm
out.
not. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm to look at my name and determine if I'm politically correct. But I'm trying to like figure out the words that I would use. It's very
Shallow?
shallow. Is one. It's. I'll say it again. It's people. Film fiction seems to care as a whole about the feelings of fictional characters. Like when they see something bad happen to one of their fictional characters that they like if they have a favorite pony and they see something bad that happens to them, they'll get mad, like actually mad, because they take this too far, or they're sensitive, or something, or this or that, or whatever. But they will get upset, and that's what I feel from the whole site. They will see things that they don't like, someone getting abused, someone not having a good time. They will see anonymous in general. They will see these things and they will get upset and they can't deal with it. they have to register their upsetness by leaving stupid comments on your user page or something. And meanwhile, over on MLP, where we have, trash, like the worst trash you can imagine, what's someone going to do? They're going to go into the thread and say, I don't like this is awful, and then get called a faggot 100 times, and nothing will change. If you go on FimFiction, you can, there's going to be an audience. You'll find other people who will get mad at the same things you get mad at, and you can report that person for violating some terms of use and get them in trouble or just make their life an awful time, because you can just dogpile on their user page and say, how dare you do this, blah, 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 blah. But you can't do jack shit on an anonymous image board. Like, they don't even have fucking post ID. No, you have no idea who likes you and who doesn't. The only way you can do that is if they happen to be in the same thread as you. So I think being on MLP sort of hammers in how ineffectual and inconsequential a singular voice is. And
writing into the void.
Yeah, just existing in the void. And I think that once you understand how insignificant your voice alone is, I think that is also going to help you write better, because you will understand that, like, none of this matters at all whatsoever, and you'll just do stuff for your own sake.
I also genuinely think that 4chan genuinely, like, they actually will tell you to fucking improve. If you are shit, they are just going to straight up tell you. And they'll tell you just quit writing, period.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing that I can say. There is a reason Lauren Faust went to MLP before anyone else.
It's true.
At all. She went there for a reason, and she said so in the thread. You get unfiltered opinions there. That is what creative people... I went to art school. If you know how valuable a fucking anonymous critique is, how any critique is, that's like gold. You covet that. So when someone makes an entire image board just for your TV show, hell yeah, you're going to go there, and you're going to lurk, and you're going to see what people are like, and you're going to see what people are saying, and that's what you want. You want to be the guy lurking in an anonymous and Equestria thread and see people talking about your story, and then a conversation will start because people will say, oh, I like this, well, I didn't like this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And you can see that and make note of it and try and do something about it in the future. But if you are surrounded by people who have names who like your story, all they're going to do is try and impress you so they can be your friend. And you're not going to hear the important stuff you need to hear, which is people telling you what's good and what isn't good, what works and what doesn't. I think every person on FimFiction could stand to go write for MLP at least once, because you need to cut your teeth.
Well, that answers one of my later questions.
Yeah, I saw that question. I was waiting for it, but I'll get to it.
It's fair.
Yeah. And I can rapid fire off some of these real quick because I'm looking at the stream right now.
Yeah, let's
go for it. Go for it. There's so many questions. Just
what advice would I give to anyone trying to convert their green text into prose? I'm the wrong person to ask for that because my green text style is very concise. So I literally just delete the meme arrows, put them into paragraph form, and post that. That's it.
That's literally it. I agree. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. What do I think about stories where anonymous is a Philly? It's whatever. It's not my cup of tea, but you do you, buddy. Favorite pony, praise the sun. Wag's tail, is he cute? Sure. Favorite pony stands on 3 legs. Sure, that's fine. Belly rubs, sure. Exposed genitals, no. You're weird. What do you think of the stories where Sunset Shimmer is a trap and has a dong? That's called the gender bent story. Do you think Pinky's tail swish in your face all day, or have Rainbow Dash's wings tickle your anus? Preferably neither. I don't like either of them. What do you think of the man who got arrested for breaking into homes and tickling buttholes? Vylon, I think it's great that the prison lets you use the computer.
She's amazing, okay? Vylon is amazing, let's be clear. Because all of her questions are always like this.
A woman who was found dead and naked on her bed while having fun with frozen sausages. What do you think is the cause of death? brain aneurysm. They can happen anywhere. When you're born, your penis already gets the walls of your mother's vagina. I was a C-section.
Well, we do know that your testicles apparently did some twisting inside your mom, so.
Yeah. A couple who met online is a war fetish. Ew. They agreed to meet together and fulfill their fantasies. Someone ate the other. This was found out by police. Seal file a case against the eater. See against one person. Yes, actually, there was a court case about that. It is determined that if someone consents to be willingly eaten by another person, that they are not in their right mind, and the eater is at fault because the person who had given consent to be eaten was not in their right mind, and therefore by law cannot have given consent.
I think we saw the same video.
I need to know about this.
It was some story that some edgy asshole in college told me, that there was a guy who had a fetish for getting his dick eaten, like actually eaten. So they got a surgeon to surgically remove his dick and have it be eaten in front of him by someone, I don't remember. And that went to court because someone sued somebody, obviously. And the judge determined that because this person consented to being eaten, that they were not in their right mind. And if you are not in your right mind in America, you cannot consent to do something. So it was, by that definition, illegal.
Curious, because the version I heard was that it was in Europe, and it wasn't the guy's dick; it was all of him.
No, Europe and America have similar laws in most cases because they come from the same place. Whatever. Succubus, and your special place has a tongue. We can give you sex and blowjob at the same time. Will you ditch your girlfriend for me? I've read that, Dojin. It's alright. I know exactly which one you're talking about. You're a faggot, and you catch a girl peeing behind a bush. You stare at each other for a while, blah, 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 blah. Looks like she's about to scream, and after a moment she smiles, flips you the finger, and tells you to get the fuck out. Be a gentleman. Be a good friend. Be autistic. I'd tell Pencil to go back inside. The end.
Oh, fuck you!
Are you an asshole? I'm more of a dickhead than an asshole, but
I think you're a cunt, if that helps.
Story is my magnum opus, and why? I don't think I can really, as the creator of this stuff, say what my magnum opus is. I don't think I have the right to determine that.
And then what is your piece de resistance, then?
Most people go to Birds and Equestria first off, just because that's the biggest one, and that's the one that I put the most thought into. But stuff that I like the most, I can give you whatever the fuck I think about them. I think Birds and Equestria is really good. Is not really good because I can go back and see a bunch of stuff that I don't like and want to change, but I don't believe in changing stuff after you put it out, unless like there's a really legitimate reason to.
A glaring spelling error.
Yeah, like I go back and change spelling errors, but when I look at the formatting and think this is stupid, shitty formatting, or my prose is awful here, I don't change that because that's considered a time capsule. That's something I put the most thought into. That was something I had a lot of fun doing, and it speaks to me the easiest, I would say. Another story that rarely gets talked about anymore, but was very popular at the time, was called Flanking Maneuvers, which I did.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was a spin-off that I did on a whim because some people on Skype dared me to, and I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell the story about that after I've done this, but I really liked that story because, first off, it was so much fun to write. But the second part was that I had people come to me afterwards who said, I did not like Princess Celestia until I read your story with her.
Aww.
Because you made her very fallible and human, and you took what was considered a perfect character and just sort of twisted it in a way that was like darker but not like, but still sympathetic. I don't know. That made me feel good. I liked writing another story I wrote called Hope Rides Alone, which was my crossover story. And the reason I liked that was because I set out to do something in 8 chapters, and I did it in 8 chapters. It was very quick. It was very concise. It was self-contained. I liked it. And one of my newer stories called Am I Evil, which I wrote, that was one of the ones that I had the most fun writing because every single chapter was very like, I knew what I wanted to do, and there were scenes that I thought out that was like, yeah, I'm having fun doing this. The last like climax of that story was something like, it was very long, I can tell you that. And I wrote that in like maybe 50 minutes because I had it all planned out in my head and I knew exactly what I wanted to do and it just felt really fun to get out. So that's the answer for that. What would I do if I sang out of tune? Walk out. That's what I would do. I do remember that.
Would you stand up and walk out?
Yeah. So to quickly tell the story about how flanking maneuvers happened, what happened back long ago. I wrote a chapter in Birds and Equestria where one of my characters, there were two, took the mickey out of Princess Celestia because that was their dynamic. They would fuck with each other. They fucked with each other because it was funny. And for around later in that time, I hit 10,000 paste bin hits, which back then, when you hit that number, you would do some sort of watershed moment story where you'd say, oh, well, here's this. Here's me, here's a face reveal or something like that. Here's some special story to commemorate 10,000 paste bin hits. And I did a poll. I decided I'm going to write smut, first off. This will be the first smut that I ever write. And I did a poll asking people what they wanted. And everybody voted for these two characters, for Princess Celestia and this other guy having hate sex, because that would be really funny. So I did it. It was all right. It wasn't my best, but I did it. People liked it. Eventually, one day on Skype, people started talking about it, and the topic came up of like an alternate continuity spin-off thing where that hate sex had led to a relationship, and then they got married. But it was like a married with children type thing where they didn't like each other. So, and they just ripped on each other all the time. And on the urging of several other people, I was like, fine, we're doing this. And I wrote up 1,000 words, and I think I called someone the Grand Duke of Dookie. And I posted that, and everyone liked it. And I was like, all right, this will be something that I do on the side whenever I can't think of an idea or I have another idea that I just want to get out. And it eventually turned into some story that a lot of people really liked because it was two bad people who still cared about each other to some capacity. And I guess people liked that for some reason. It was fun. I had fun.
Cool.
It made people like a character, so it can't be all bad.
All right.
We're gonna move to the next guy. But we
I was
need
gonna
to
say, I was gonna acknowledge if it's okay, Priest, if I acknowledge something.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Cool. With this next set of questions, we don't mind you asking questions to cast members. We really don't. But if you're going to ask questions to cast members, please limit them to a few. These podcasts are really about our main guest, and that means Mandroid. So when you ask us pages and pages of questions for individuals like us, it kind of takes away from their time. So limit it to a few questions. We don't need to be answering every million question under the sun. Would you like to rapid fire a few of these select ones that you're actually interested in, Priest?
I'm trying to look through here and see if there's any that are specifically.
Hold up. This is the guy asking the question. No.
Oh boy.
Massive douches exist in life. You can either deal with it or get out.
What's going on?
What?
He was asking
He's talking about the.
If you look at stream chat, you'll see sort of what we're talking about.
Dude, what are you talking about?
He wants me to answer all these questions rather than Mandroid, which is not what we're here to do. I will ask you, how many eggs do you think fit into Spike's ass?
You were going to say Mandroid's ass, and I was going to say, I bet we could fit 4 or 5 up there. Anyway.
I'm tiny. I'd say like 4. Spike, if I'm 4, he's like 2 or 3.
And I think that
fire isn't being spat yet. I haven't started rapping yet.
Would you masturbate as a female?
Yes.
If you were displaced in Equestria, if you're aware of the term, what would you be displaced as?
Turned into something?
Yeah, basically, it's the type of story where you go to a convention dressed as Superman, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're in Equestria and you're Superman.
It's like the most hated thing outside of HIE.
It really is.
Okay, so is it like actually if I could be Superman or like just
Yeah, you're
something from the
Superman. You
show?
have the powers.
Oh, in that case, someone who could go home probably. I guess I'd miss my stuff. I got,
You're
I'm one,
adorable.
I'm one of those people who would end up there and go, huh, all right, bye.
All right. There's a
the
I don't understand the next question by the sane one. So, Priest, would you like to ask that one?
Sure. What do you suppose would happen if I reached around 20 before noon?
Probably, you'd probably be dehydrated. Yeah, he's talking about masturbating.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jesus,
Yeah,
okay.
you'd sweat a lot and get dehydrated and you'd probably get sent to the hospital because I think I remember reading a news story about some guy who did it 43 times in a day and died.
Yeah, I
that would
read
be
something like that
chafing.
too.
Wouldn't that be like
Yeah.
chafing forever?
It'll probably hurt like a motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Well, that arm would have been so swole though.
But you gotta use blood as lube.
When I moved home from college, I was for a while very concerned about the fact that I noticed one of my arms was a lot like taut. And I'd like look at my arms and think, people are gonna fucking notice.
Hey, it's tennis arm. That's it.
Oh
Like-
wow!
like this one.
Okay.
This one's flabby, this one's not. People can speak and tell.
All right. What we got?
Let's see. If you had to French kiss one of the people in this room, who would it be?
I only know two of you, so it comes down to either Pencil or Priest.
I know it's gonna be Priest. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. I don't know the rest of you.
All right. So who's gonna be?
Alright.
Me or Priest? You got to choose.
I don't know. Let me find a quarter.
All right, now we have questions from Explosions. What is the worst thing you've ever done? Good. This is a good question. What is the worst thing you've ever done? That you're willing to share, of course.
There's not much I'm not unwilling to share. I'm just trying to think, like, because there's two things that come to mind. The first one was something not many people here will know. It'll be when I mentioned the word Miro, and all that went with that. I wasn't particularly sympathetic when that happened, and I was like, could I have been? And then I think, nah, I couldn't have been. He was an asshole. A very sick asshole. On a much funnier end, when I worked at Minecraft Camp, there was this kid who was an annoying little shit, and he made his level 30 minutes long, and I was supposed to get through these in 5 minutes, so I asked my boss, hey, can I skip this one? And he said yes, and so I skipped it, and the little shit cried. He like put his head down, I was like, you didn't play my level.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
How old was the kid?
It was like 11.
Oh, it's too old.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That's fine. They're
He
not
wasn't-
even cute, really.
He was number 3 in my list of 3 worst kids that I had to deal with there.
Yeah, they're not even cute at that age anymore. Anyway.
2. Why'd you choose your name Mandroid?
This is something. I thought that I was being witty. I thought that it's a pun. It's a play on words. That's awesome. And so I just picked it a long time ago for something besides going off of AIE. And then
When you were a spurgy little child.
No, this was when I was like 17 or something. It was for something else. But either way.
Spurgy little teen. Okay.
Yeah, either way, because I did all this at 3 in the morning, I didn't think of any names. I didn't think of trip codes. I didn't think of any of that. I was just, okay, I guess I gotta fucking pull this out of my ass. So I just pulled out something that I'd used in the past. And then I go back like a year later and find out that Marvel Comics had used that name for like bad guys in Iron Man stories in the 60s, and I felt like a dickhead. Well, shit. I'm not original.
All right. Next question.
Will you kill me, Daddy?
Sure.
Yay.
All how do you feel about the AIE community on /MLP?
The thing is, most of our community aspect is going away. Most people went on to not exactly greener pastures, but they got scared off for some reason or another. They saw the people that I was there with. I think these days it's fairly, decent. I would say it's about as decent as any other community on MLP, to be perfectly honest. I know we have more posters.
Do you feel we've gotten more hugboxy?
No. I think that I don't think we've got more hugboxy. I think it's more apathetic.
That might be true. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's hugboxy because like hugboxy indicates that we are like setting out. I do believe like what you're getting at. I don't believe there's anybody who just writes for shock value anymore or just does things. I think at this point, everybody who's doing stuff is old. I think we've been there a while, and I think we've all just sort of settled in. We're comfortable where we are, and so we're not doing stuff to shock people so much as we're just doing stuff because we enjoy it, and other people are enjoying it too. I think like the most off-the-cuff thing we have right now is some guy who's doing He-Man on an Equestria.
Oh yeah.
And that,
Oh, He-Man, yeah.
Yeah, that's like not offensive. That's just there, and like I think, gone are the days of people who are writing to be edgy, because I think gone are the days where edgy people come to MLP. These days, it's just people who go there.
Would you consider me edgy though, considering some of the shit I write?
I think you stir shit. You're not like edgy on purpose.
Okay.
You're not like remember Miro used to write stupid fucked up shit because he was brain damaged, and we had a guy named Rape Truck for a while. Like no one's doing that. You're just doing stuff because I don't know.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, you're a weirdo.
Yay!
Like you said, Pencil, it's your catharsis.
It is my catharsis. It really is.
I know that. Should Flutter Rape today? Yes, they should. Oh my god.
Right? Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my
Even
God.
even as one of the people that kind of runs the AIE, not AIE, fucking
Yeah, you
Flutter Rape.
don't.
Flutter
Like-
Rape! Flutter Rape!
Back in the day, I forget when, but that came up a long time, like that when AIE was going downhill, like less people than we were used to, and so was Flutter Rape. I was one of the people who went in there, put on my name, and said, "Guys, seriously, just let's go, okay? All of this falls under this category already. We are stronger together than we are apart. Let's just fucking get this going somewhere. Let's just
Better together.
yeah. Let's
I
just
agree
cut.
with you.
Let's
I
just
think it's a
let's
thing
just
that has to happen.
let's just cut this. Let's cut this dynamite wick. Let's put all our stupid egos aside and just deal with it. And for a while, I think it worked okay. And now we have a lot of cross posting going on. But still, like there's some sort of tribal aspect with Flutter Rape that just they go off and do their own fucking thing every single time. If I could force them, if I was a mod, that would be the first thing I would do. All stories go in one thread.
I think
Period.
that's really fair, and honestly, I would agree with you. Even as one of the go-to Flutter Rape guys, I've tried to get everyone to go and merge in. I try to talk to everyone about it. They go, "Nah, AIE doesn't like us. If we join, people would shitpost at us and say
We'll
Flutter Rape's
definitely
terrible."
shitpost at you.
Yeah,
That's what we do here. It's 4chan.
Yeah, who gives a shit if they like you or not?
Yeah,
Who gives a
just
shit?
come on over. You're welcome.
Who gives a shit if they like what you write or not? You know what they're going to do if they don't like what you write? Not read it.
Yeah,
You know what
seriously.
then you're going to get shit posted on. So is everybody else. You are not special. You are not exempt from shit posting. You go there, you end up there. Even the most intelligent boards on 4chan you are expected to have someone shit post there.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, just get over it. Fuck.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna share this podcast with the fucking Flutter Rape posters.
No, Flutter Rape needs to join us. We'd be happy to have them. Come on over, writers. I love Flutter. I love Flutter Rape short stories. Bring them to AIE. We'd love to have them.
As someone who has been in the AIE, go back up. You missed one of the pencils. As someone who has been in the AIE thread for potentially the longest time, I've been in there for 4 years. As of right now, it's very possible that I'm the oldest person there. I am formally inviting you. Just come over. Just do it.
Do it. We want you.
All that it would mean is the thread is twice as active as it normally would. The way we had it in the past is fine. Just put FR in front of your story name and go from there.
I would love that. And frankly, I've seen
It's
how
a win
often
for
you-
everybody.
No, I've seen how often you fuckers bump. It's time you guys came over.
Yeah, like if that's the other thing. I have anonymously and still do anonymously bump the thread when it gets to like page 9 or something. I'll post a story. I'll repost an old story, or I'll post a picture to try and get a writing prompt going. But anybody who just says bump, fuck you. Do
Come
something
on,
else.
be part of us.
Do something else. You have a bone of originality in your body. Go into an image site, find a picture of Anon and the Questioner that you like, and post it in there. Someone will say something. Don't just say bump. Bump is the quitter's word that just means, I don't want to see this thread go away, but I'm too unwilling to do anything about it.
Join us. One
just-
of us.
Just I don't care if you write a 5-line post about poop. It's better than nothing.
Anyway, I'm really glad you feel the same way I do about that. Okay.
That
We're
actually
old-
merges
we're
really
old and-
well into.
We're old and bitter, and we see these kids making so many fucking problems that they don't have to make.
Get on our lawn, kids.
Get this.
Get on our lawn. It
the
does
next-
merge into the next question, though, where would you encourage writers from FimFic to try posting green on Mult?
Every single one.
Which
Everyone-
we said that already.
Everyone has to cut their teeth somewhere, and I think an anonymous image board is the best place to do it because A, you're either going to find people who really like you, or you're going to find people who really hate you, but they're not going to be neutral. They're going to say something about it. If you need an excuse, Lauren Faust came there first. We are her chosen, not any of you other queers.
Yep.
There is a reason she came there. Embrace that and just show up. Just show up, post your story. Does it even need to be in green text anymore? I'm pretty sure we're really lax on the
No,
rules.
I would gladly take some prose, like some black prose. Yeah. I don't even think it needs to be second person anymore, as long as it's not.
No, third person's fine.
Yeah, there are two rules. You just follow those incredibly, incredibly simple rules, and just do it because you need to cut your teeth. You are dumbing down this website that you post on if you do not cut your teeth. You are lowering the quality of discourse by having all this stupid. This was a question earlier that I'll go back to. One of the things I hate is whenever something comes out, some big game, Gears of War 4 just came out. I guarantee I'm going to go to the front page of FimFiction right now, and if I find a Gears of War story on the front page, I'm going to fucking hate it.
It's okay. I know.
It's gonna be there. You know that.
It's definitely gonna be there.
But it's every time that needs to. Those stories should be exempt from being able to be put on the front page because they.
No, actually, it's World of Warcraft.
We need to go through these questions, motherfuckers. Come on.
What Mulp writers are underrated?
Anybody who came over to FimFiction and did it, and actually put forth the effort. Aether's underrated for what he did. He basically held the torch for the longest time. Let me just go see who I follow. Imperius is underrated. Overlord's underrated. Everybody should read Jazz Teeth. Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody. Someone who hasn't posted in 10 million years. Pike. I loved Pike stories.
Bolding,
Techie.
8th.
Yeah, Bolding, Aether.
8th son.
Yeah, 8th and I. He's Australian. Don't hold that against him.
I know. I never do.
Yeah, then that's just about everybody that I follow. Yeah, just those people. They don't get enough credit.
I agree with you on most of those, actually. Yeah.
We're not just Wooten.
As much as I love Wooten, yeah.
He's a nice guy, but we're not just him. We do have other people.
Like you.
Reading Jazz Teeth is like fucking dropping acid and listening to Rush.
That's an interesting comparison. I'm not sure I'd make the comparison, but that's wonderful. Anyway, I think we already answered what makes you want to write.
Yeah, we did.
So
at the end, this was slightly different. At the end of the day, what makes me want to write? People want to read it. That's the reason I do it now.
Viewers like you.
Yeah, it's super gay to say that, but I got my story out. Like I got the huge dump out at the end. Like the reason I kept writing Birds in Equestria, I would have fallen off the map if people hadn't said, "Yeah, I like this. I like this. I'll keep reading." The first day that I posted, the only U that I got was someone said, "I've never seen a story with two Anons before. I'll be watching this." And from that day forward, I wrote for that guy because I was like, "Okay, there's at least one person who gives a shit. That's enough." So there's I write nowadays because there's going to be someone who wants to read it, and I like to entertain.
All right, Priest, let's rapid fire off the next questions.
I'm going to take 2 questions from the Display Server Equestria's post and then move down to Tony Montana. We're going to do, what is the most sexual story you've written?
I've written smut before. Like that's about. But the most sexual I wrote. For I think it was either birthday or thread number 300 or something. But I wrote spin the bottle, but I gender bent everybody.
That's one.
Yes. That's not real. It's not really writing because I just took what he did and changed a bunch of pronouns. But it's the dirtiest thing I've contributed.
What's the darkest story you've ever written?
I wrote a story about a gay Anon who has dissociative identity disorder and went around murdering people. But that story was too edgy. That's the only story I've ever canceled, outright. I know how it ends. I still know how it ends. I could still finish it if I wanted to, but I was not having fun doing it. People were not having fun reading it, and I felt that it was muddled, so I stopped it. I don't write dark stuff too much. I write stupid, silly stuff where people get hit with trains.
As you should.
Yeah, like that was a story that belonged in another like IP and a frame of thought with that went along with that. It did not fit for horses, so I admit that was a fault. That was my bad. But it still fucking tears me up inside when I go into fan fiction and see this person is favorited this story, and I go, no, don't do that.
I understand.
Why would you like this?
not even why would you like this? Just, it's never getting done.
For me, it's like, I wrote this and I don't like this. Why are you liking it so much? So.
Alrighty, we're gonna move down to Tony Montana. We only got a few more posts left. I'll try and crank through this in the last 20 minutes. Are there any good Alicorn OCs? And not Princess Cadence. Fuck you.
No.
There's Trihorn Demon Eye.
I had forgotten. No. The answer is no.
Not really. Like, that's not to say that it can't be done. Because I think something I've come to terms with a long time ago is any idea can be done and done well, but I think that there's no famous one that is like good. I think if you're doing one like just for a single, like in your story, just in the context of that, I think it's okay, but I don't think there's any like out there that are good. And on that note,
what about Nyx?
No one gives a shit. on that topic, I'll pass along some advice that I was given by one of our late and great writers, Mr. Betty Spaghetti. Or may he ride to Valhalla, shiny and chrome. Never make an OC unless you have to. Mm-hmm. Any role in any story, if you can fill it with a canon character, do it.
Mm-hmm.
I will ask one other thing. Does Mooney count as an OC?
No.
Okay, I wanted to ask.
Yeah, there's a personality in place that is from the show. Her name is not even Mooney. That's just more or less a nickname, isn't it?
No, her name is Mooney.
Yeah, well, whatever. The point of the matter is that I don't think she's going to be going by that name when she's 10,000 years old. But there is a personality to take from there. Like if you want to, if you want all these background characters, like very few of them actually have hardline factual canon names. You can call them whatever the fuck you want, but so long as you base their character on what you see, it's all good in the hood.
All right, let us move on. Here we fucking go.
If an army of changelings was invading your city, what would you do?
Philadelphia, we throw batteries at Santa Claus. They'd be fine. They'd be fine.
What are your thoughts on changelings?
They're all right. They can certainly be interesting, like if done right. But they're all right. I think the most interesting thing I've done in changelings was aside from Am I Evil, which was the one time I've ever put them in a sympathetic light. In flanking maneuvers in one chapter, he got abducted by changelings, and he fucked up an entire brood of them by taking a dump in their spawning pool.
Oh.
they came out like retarded and smelled bad.
That's fucking great, actually.
Wow.
I remember I'm flashing back to it now. It was in the context of the story, the spoken of but not on camera plan in the event the anonymous character in that story, he wasn't named anonymous. He was named half of it, but in the event that he ever got abducted by changelings, because he is technically the crown prince of Equestria, what he was supposed to do was be as annoying and disruptive as possible, so they could not keep him around. He'd be awful to keep around, and at the end of the story, Chrysalis brings him back and says he can keep him. I don't want him anymore.
Oh my
So what
god.
what Rarity did with Diamond Dogs?
Pretty much, yeah. Just be like a gigantic pain in the ass, and people don't want you there.
All right, next.
All right, so I don't believe this is the season finale. This is actually a season 6 episode. So I will ask this question. Changelings lay eggs in mass, as published in a recent episode. Given this, is it possible to think that changelings outnumber ponies in terms of global population?
No, that's fair. If you study biology, you know that most insectoids have a very short life expectancy because they breed so explosively. Anything that has an explosive life expectancy is going to have anything that has an explosive breeding process is going to have a shorter life expectancy. Most of the time, it's because they're prey. Like, why do rabbits have so many babies? Because they get eaten by everything. As for changelings and stuff that they'll tackle on the TV show, I would say that it's plausible to say that for the most part, most of them die because they don't get love and they starve to death.
All right, next.
Vaginal, anal, or oral?
Oral, less messy.
Yay.
What pony pussy would you like to fuck the most? I think that's Celestia.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Same with ass.
Sure.
Who gives the best blowjobs?
Chrysalis has the longest tongue.
What pony would you want to impregnate the most?
I don't like kids.
All right,
if I have kids, they're gonna come out with their balls twisted up.
Oh. Well, at least they won't be butthurt.
How do I know it's mine? The one that has a writhing face.
Ugh.
If you could learn any language you wanted to instantly and have perfect fluency in it, what language would you choose?
++. You can get a bunch of jobs doing that.
That's a really unusual answer. I did not expect you to answer in something other than like French, Japanese, etc.
Well, you can get a lot of jobs in Java.
Yeah, Minecraft runs on Java, but yeah, it's I took a class in college about how to make websites. I was like, I might as well be building a quantum reactor because I don't know dick about this shit. But if I'm gonna be serious, for like Earth languages, I think it's English. It's like English, Spanish, and Mandarin Chinese. If you can speak all three of those, there's nowhere on the planet you can't go and be understood. But I'm just gonna say I'll just do Japanese, and then I'll go to Akibara and be an asshole to everybody.
Moonspeak. Sweet.
Anata wa Nihongo wakarimasu ka?
You fucking weeb.
Fucking kill yourself.
Get out.
Anyway,
Yeah,
next.
I'd go to Japan and I'd go to Akibara. I'd go to the giant Gundam statue, and then I'd dress up like a ghost and run around in the suicide forest at night.
Dan, fucking fantastic. I like this so much. Okay, moving on.
If you could travel to any county, what would it be?
I'm gonna guess that's supposed to be country.
Yeah, I'm guessing so.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really want to go places. Japan, like, it'd be nice to visit, but it'd be all like that'd just be the cop-out answer because like there's the most stuff there that I want to see. But It'd be awful to live there. The UK is pretty like kind of crappy. Germany's kind of crappy. Russia's awful. Either Japan or Best Korea, I guess.
What about Canada?
Fuck Canada.
It's the same thing, but live for another country for the next question.
Live in another? No, I'm where I want to be. Like even other states I don't want to live in. I am quite content with where I am. Like everyone's, oh, I want to go to Norway. It's a socialist paradise. No, it's not. Fuck you.
Socialist paradise. Okay.
Anyway.
And last but not least, which is the best Al Pacino, Michael Corleone, or Tony Montana?
I haven't seen whatever movie Michael Corleone is, so I guess I'll just say Tony. No, wait, Al Pacino. The best thing he's in was Expendables 3.
All right.
That was the best.
Would you join a herd in Equestria?
Like in the context, like the dirty context?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
What if you were in charge of a herd?
Then I'm in charge of people, and I'm nah.
Oh.
Go off.
No.
I meant sexually. I meant sexually, but there you go.
Yeah, just go off. Leave me alone.
It's like you basically giving permission to fuck.
You'd be the worst dom ever.
I would. I'd be like, I'll tell this story because
I would love you to. Let's finish the questions because we're so close. We're so close.
All right, but yeah, we'll keep a pin in the side. So,
Please.
I'll just go down. If magic would allow you to have foals of the pony, would you? I don't want kids. I am pretty sure none of those characters you just listed are canon gay, so nothing would happen.
Hey, cuddling does not necessarily mean gay.
Have you met gay people? Of course it does.
I cuddle women, and I'm not into women. Okay.
All right, you and your apartment did placed in the question. Pretty sure I wrote that. You had to bring along at least one person from the podcast. I feel like I could bring Pencil along, and I would look way better by comparison.
Thanks! Love you too, baby cakes.
It's like, if two crazy monkeys show up, like, hey, this one is an asshole, but at least it's not that one. What's the next one? Bring along Pencil or Vylon, the duty to repopulate humanity.
But Celestia?
Yeah, I guess I know Pencil better than Vylon. Sorry, I'd like to know people first. Because you answered yes, I would. 10 generations of heavy inbreeding. I don't know. I'm not very tall.
Our descendants would be short. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm not very tall. They'd be pretty short.
I am 5'1", so our descendants would be midgets.
Yeah. Is the origin story of the humans in your human and you? I don't know what that is.
That's a fanfiction story by Mad Max the Black. If he's in the chat, he can confirm whether that is the new canon way that humans respond to that world. Let's go to Doom Guy.
I'll make a point of that. I don't read fanfiction stories. Like unless it's people that I know, I don't go out of my way to find new people.
He's a 4chan guy, guys.
Yeah,
so,
I don't. Everything that goes on my fanfiction ends up there weeks after I write it because I just dump it on there when I have the time.
Awesome.
We
are down to the last 4 questions.
All right. What do I hate the most? Displaced. What is displaced anime guy? Like you go there and suddenly you're Naruto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Fallout a question. It seems like it takes itself more seriously.
Yeah.
Like this is I'm pretty sure I did a chapter where I subtly take jabs at Fallout Equestria style stories where the two guys in Frozen Equestria go around and get rid of guns that were being invented because we don't need that in Equestria. And it's the same. I hold the same point. It's like they have spears and crossbows, and this is a show about friendship and magic. Don't mix it with Fallout, you fucking mong. Do you find people on fanfiction elitist? Kinda, yeah. I think any place that's going to have cross-pollination with 4chan is going to immediately think that it's better than 4chan because of the reputation 4chan has. But I think that they're only the people who defend 4chan are the people who go there and look at it and think, These are some points that I've never actually thought of, or something really funny came from there. Something like that. I think elitism usually comes from like isolation. And back to what I said earlier, I think a lot of people are too chicken shit to actually go into 4chan from fiction.
True.
Agreed.
Broaden your horizons. See some shit.
Yeah.
Be exalted.
And finally, what other shows would you watch that is on the same level of writing as Milo? Well, I'll be honest. The writing quality on this show, it's okay. It's better than what most people expected in 2010. It's not the end all be all. There's a lot of better shows out there.
Yeah.
Like top of my head, Wander Over Yonder is great. I urge everybody to go watch that. Over the Garden Wall is great. A lot of Wakfu is one of the best animated shows I've ever seen in the last 5 years. Yeah, everybody should go watch. Yeah, everybody go watch that. That is probably the best written animated show in the past 5 years.
I'd also lump in Steven Universe.
Even though its fandom is toxic as fuck.
I'm not saying the fandom's good.
No,
the fandom is toxic as fuck.
I'm saying both aren't very good. I watched the entire first season of that show, and all I ended up doing at the end of it was I want to drown this kid. I hate that show. Not hate, but I do.
Let's not get into that because there's one very important question at the end, and then I want to hear the story you're going to tell.
They don't do anything. They cry. Crying is not a substitute for pathos. It is just it's the writer telling the audience, this is where you're supposed to be sad. You should be sad here. It's the same level of laziness Joss Whedon does when he's like, oh, the stakes have to be raised. I better kill somebody. It's a crutch. It's lazy.
But Joss Whedon never actually kills anyone.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
Joss Whedon kills his career.
Yeah. Anyway, so the last question on the list, and then I want to hear this story.
Why am I so handsome? It's because I cultivate my beard.
Okay. Now, story time. I want to hear the story before we have to go.
Oh yeah, because I ramble and I take up all the time for questions. But
no, it's all good.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Okay, so the story. I think there were two stories that you wanted me to cover. What was the one we were just on?
It involved something about
something about Doms.
Oh yeah. So, the first time that I had the sex was when I was 17 years old, and this is also one of the last times I had the sex because I decided this was too much effort. But the one. Let me finish. You guys have these podcasts on days when I normally work, so I haven't been able to sit in on one. But the one time I did, I sat in and I heard Pencil tell the story, do Drink or Dare, and tell the story about how she'd had sex in some Wilderness Lodge or something or whatever. I forget about it.
What is this? Which one?
It was a while.
The one where you're band camp or something.
Yeah.
I didn't have sex. I didn't have sex at band camp though.
No, he's talking about the priest when she was 14.
Oh, the minister I seduced?
Whatever, I don't know. It happened in a Wilderness Lodge or something. Well, I think the question was have you ever? It was you were playing Never Have I Ever, and it was Never Have I Ever had sex while a decapitated head was watching or something. But
I'm sure.
I don't think you guys have had to drink.
I think he's talking about a cornfield.
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was in a similar but not exactly the same situation where for the time I did that was at Bible camp.
Oh, I'm excited for the story. Yes, go on.
So, there were two instances at Bible camp. First off, let me say that my father was a counselor at Bible camp because he did not trust that I would pay attention at Bible camp if I was there by myself.
Well,
so he showed
sounds like.
So the reason he was right is I'll go into. So this was at a church retreat. It was all weekend long. You had to go there, and you had to sleep there. There were no electronics allowed, which for me was fucking kill me. So the best you could do was walk around, take walks, and listen to your iPod, which is what I did for the entire time that I was there because I didn't like any of the kids there. So there was
no
this girl.
electronics, and you listen to iPod.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a girl there. Let's call her Anne. And so one day she and I just start walking because there's fuck all else to do in the one allotted break we get. And yada yada, things progressed, and eventually I'm sitting on a park bench in like late March, which is when we had these, with someone bouncing on my lap, trying to keep out for two things: bears, which are around in Pennsylvania, because I didn't want to go out that way, and my dad, because if he stumbled onto me while that was happening, I wouldn't have come home. Luckily, neither happened, but the instance later that I'm bringing up it happened in like some youth center, like gymnasium type thing, and I had to do it while Jesus was watching, because there was a crucifix on the wall.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it was after that I decided, you know what, this was way too much work. I'm just going to check out from here on. And the only other thing interesting that happened was my goody two shoes cousin started dating that girl, and I never told him.
Oh.
Did you at least give Jesus a show?
When she wants the D so bad, she settles for family.
But
Did you get off?
yeah,
Good. Okay. Glad.
Yeah, I did not have performance anxiety, but it was just like the next time we went to that church retreat, she was dating my cousin. It was very awkward to be around. I was like, oh, kissed her. And the other story, which happened before the stream started, and Pencil seemed very, very intent on me telling this. I'm going to tell the story about how I failed a military psychological evaluation.
Yes, that was the one I wanted to
please.
hear. Thank you.
That'll be the perfect way to close this out.
Yeah, so when I was in high school, one of my teachers was a colonel in the Army, an ex-colonel, and he like through his connections, he was able to, get like certain stuff. He was able to get MREs, he was able to tell Army stories, and he would also talk about, sign up for the draft. Like, all right, so I talked to them. I went around. My cousin was also in the Army. He was able to help me out. So through circumstances, I was able to take a military psychological evaluation, because it was like, all right, you're not 18 yet, but we can give you this so that in the event that you do want to get drafted or register or whatever, this will make the process go faster. I have since been able to avoid the draft, because in Pennsylvania, if you're not a registered voter and you don't have a car registered in your name, you cannot get picked for the draft, and you also can't get picked for jury duty. So once I figured that out, I was pretty set for what I was going to do. But anyway, so they gave me a psychological evaluation. On the psychological evaluation, it's just like, all right, how do you respond? It's a lot of like, how do you respond to this stuff, like these circumstances? One of the questions was, you and your platoon are approaching a town. You are receiving, the enemy is firing at you from this town. Like, you are being shot at. The town's, maybe 2 miles away. The enemy who is fighting you and shooting at you is interspersed with civilian population. What do you do? And the correct answer is not call planes to bomb the town. Because that is what I said. That is what I said, under the guise of, they're shooting at me, and I will do whatever it takes to avoid being shot and get everybody who is with me home alive. And I failed psychological evaluation because obviously I put lots of people at undue risk. And when I told my cousin that, who was in the Army, they said, they'd probably just make you an officer, to be honest.
You're joining the American Army, not the Russian Army, right?
I have told people that if they ever made me an officer in the American Army, I would be a supervillain. I would do just anyone. I will get results, but there can be no press, because I swear to God,
95% casualty rate.
Literally, you can't handle the truth, like every time, every day.
I will turn 6 villages into atoms to make the other 12 surrender. My enhanced interrogation techniques will involve throwing people from helicopters and having paratroopers jump after them to catch them before they hit the ground. And if they don't talk, I'll lower the helicopter just a bit, and we'll keep doing that. Eventually, you'll just be going too fast. That's up to you, though. And that was the story about how I lost my sterling career in the United States Armed Forces.
I'm
Oh,
so
man.
proud of you.
Not even the children were spared.
Anyway, Priest, do you want to do the readout?
That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you, Mandroid, for coming on and tolerating our podcast. Hopefully you had a good time. I know we all did.
We did.
It's fine. If you need, we didn't even get to talk about any. I didn't even get the chance to talk about my stories because I'm such a fucking rambler. But in the event that you need to fill a space because someone doesn't get their work schedule until 3 days before the podcast airs, then you know where to find me.
Are you offering to fill our holes?
Sure.
Excellent.
All right. I don't know what to
All
do
right.
now.
Dude,
Well, Priest will read it
everyone, be
properly.
sure to tune in next week. We're going to have another special guest. We have film fiction writer, and cracked article writer, brony writer, joining us next week to talk about No, I'm Not a Brony, Get Me Out of Equestria, and Princess Celestia Gets Mugged. So be sure to watch out for the thread and tune in next week. Thank you for watching the Good HIE podcast. This has been a non-pencil,
I'm going to go drink myself to sleep now.
enigmatic otaku,
I'm releasing a story in a couple minutes.
Flamin' Warfers here,
Wir müssen die Ponys ausrotten.
Milk,
Bye.
Ravage,
Dead.
These waffles have made me sick.
and Violon listened. My name's Flutter Priest. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Fuck off.
I should probably.
Dude.
Fragment wide.
So